Hello friends, now we are going to talk about the joins, which are the different join operations are there. So before starting with the different join operations, let me speak what about the what do you mean by equi-join, the simple operation, and then we'll move to the complex joins operations, the complex join operations. Okay, so I am having two relations. The first relation is nothing but this R, and second relation is nothing but S. These are the two relations I am having, right? This R relation is nothing but the employee, and S relation is nothing but the project. In employee relation, I am having two attributes, EID and PName, employee ID and name, and then I am having PID, the project ID, and address. So the accordingly and then randomly I have taken some tuples in both the relations. So now if I want to do R equi-join with S, R equi-join with S, so you already know for equi-join we will be requiring some common attributes. So the commonality has been taken between PName and PID. Okay, so that's why we will be getting E11. You can see here I am having A as a common tuple. Here also I am having the common value A. So that's why E11 A, PID is also A, and the address is Pune. Then again E12 again I am having here A, then A again Pune, and then E13 B. You can see this is the common. So B, and this address is Hyderabad. So here whatever we have done logically, that I have represented in terms of the the for loops. So for every R, every tuple R in R, every tuple R, right, every tuple R, suppose I am saying this particular tuple R, E11 and A, right, do begin, then for every S in capital S, means every tuple in S, I am saying this is nothing but my S, A. So for every S in S do begin, and when I am going to add that particular attribute in my relation, when this particular condition will get satisfied. Which is the condition? This is the condition, R of A is equals to S of B, right? R of A is equals to S of B. If this condition gets satisfied, if in relation R I am getting the same value as that of relation S, then I am going to add that tuple into my relation, okay, into my output. Then I am going to end the inner for loop, and then I am going to end my outer for loop, right there. Now, so whatever I have told you, the same scenario I have written. Now there are different varieties of this. There are different extended forms are there. The first one is nothing but the nested loop join, and the scenario, the thing I have considered is by deleting the duplicate tuples. Means I am only distinct values will get taken, duplicate values will be removed. Okay, so now I think you know what do you mean by, I have explained it, what do you mean by equi-join. So here I am going to apply the equi-join, but the only scenario I am going to apply it in a nested way. So nested loop join I am going to apply. So for each tuple R in the relation capital R do begin, right, means I am going to match the relation R, right, every tuple in R I am going to match every tuple in relation R. Then for each tuple in small s of capital S, each tuple in small s, each tuple S, that is nothing but the any tuple in S do begin, and if this condition satisfies, means what, if that tuple is present in A, if that particular value is present in A and the same value is present in B, then I am going to begin, right, then I am going to delete the duplicate tuples from R dot S, right? I am going to delete the duplicate tuples from r dot s, right? And then I am going to add, after removing the duplicates, I am going to add that result into my relation, into my output table, right? Now here what is the problem? See, not the problem, what is the different aspects of this. The first relation I am having r, and the another relation I am having s. I am going to do the equijoin on this, right? Means what? This r is nothing but the inner relation, and s is nothing but the outer relation, right? This is, if I am considering, this is nothing but my inner relation, and this is nothing but my outer relation. This is nothing but my outer relation, and this is nothing but my inner relation. R is nothing but inner relation, and S is nothing but the outer relation, right? For the sake of simplicity I am considering this. Then for example, if I am considering the number of tuples n r is equals to 2000, the number of blocks in r is equals to, you can see the number of tuples in the inner relation r is nothing but 2000. I have taken here the any value for the sake of simplicity, and number of blocks in r, that is br, is 200, okay? And number of tuples in outer relation s is ns, that is 500, and number of blocks in outer relation bs is 200, okay? So number of tuples nr is equals to 200, number of tuples in r, that is nr, is equals to 200, number of blocks in r, that is nothing but br, is 100, number of tuples in s, that is ns, is 500, and number of blocks in s, that is bs, is 200. Now what do you mean by the block? In one block there can be many tuples, right? That's why you can see here, in one block there can be many tuples. So that's why you can see here I am having 100 blocks, right? And number of tuples are 2000. So I can say in one block how many tuples will be there? So it will be 2000 divided by 100. Mean to say, in one block I am having 20 tuples, right? In one block I am having 20 tuples, okay? So that is the calculation, okay? Now what is the base case complexity, or the base case which in this particular join? If I am doing the whatever the sorting we are going to do, if it will get sorted, the base case complexity will be br plus bs, number of blocks in r plus number of blocks in s. So number of blocks in r are 200 and number of blocks in s is 200, so it will be total 300, right? Then if I am talking about the worst case complexity, or the worst case of the nested loop join, then it will be what? Br plus bs into nr, br plus bs into nr, br plus bs into nr. So br is 100, bs is 200, into nr is 2000, right? So if I am doing this, I will be getting roughly 4 lakh as an answer, okay? Now what I have considered here, inner relation is r and outer relation is s. Inner relation is r and outer relation is s. Now if I am inverting this, suppose I am saying it now as r is my suppose I am considering now r is my outer relation, right? And this s is nothing but my inner relation, right? Now what I am doing, r is my outer relation and s is my inner relation. If I am doing in that way, what I will get? See, bs plus br into ns, this is the formula. So I will be getting 200 plus 100 into 500, so roughly I will be getting 50k, right? What I am trying to tell you, see. So here if I am comparing, suppose if I am considering this R as an outer relation, and this S as an inner relation, right? Then I will be requiring 4 lakh, right? But if I am considering this R, as a inner relation and S as an outer relation, then the cost is 50k, right? So you can compare, 50k is very less as compared to 4 lakh. So meaning is what I want to indicate, whatever the relation which is having less number of blocks, that should be taken as a inner relation. Understood what I am trying to tell you? Whatever the relation which is having less number of blocks, right, or less number of tuples, that I need to take it as a inner relation, so the cost will be less, right guys? So now, so that's why I want to tell you, you can see here the inner relation should have less number of tuples or less number of blocks, so that the cost will be reduced. If I am taking an outer relation, if I am taking a relation which is having more number of blocks or more number of tuples as a inner relation, then the cost will be more, right? That's why inner relation should have less number of blocks or less number of tuples. Okay, then now the second category is block nested loop join. This is the another category, block nested loop join. This is the extension of nested loop join. The only scenario here is I have added one more for loop to this, that is nothing but for each block in R in BR do begin, right? Then for each block R in BR do begin, for each block BS in S do begin, for each tuple R, that is nothing but my inner relation R, do begin, and for each tuple in S, that is nothing but my outer relation S, do begin. Then if this satisfies, if the value in tuple A, if the value in tuple R, and if the value in tuple S satisfies, should be same. If that satisfies, then I am going to add that result into my output table or output relation. Okay, in that case, the best case or the cost in the best case will be BR plus BS, and in worst case the cost will be BR plus BS into NR, right? If my inner relation is having less number of blocks or less number of tables, or it will be BR into BS plus BR into NS, BS plus BR into NS. So this will be the total cost, right? Okay guys, so these are the two extensions of the equijoins. There are more extensions of this are there. We will be discussing those in the next lecture. Hope so you people have understood this lecture. Okay, this is all for today. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you. Thank you.